Wonderful. That didn't take 30 seconds. That took 10 seconds, mashallah. That's incredible. Okay, so my name is Armughan Ahmed. I am the Master of Ceremonies for tonight with the amazing Storytellers. Give them a huge round of applause. So let me tell you who these Storytellers are. Before I tell you what these Storytellers are, if you missed and you came fashionably late, these are the girls from our own communities. They're not the girls from TCF Pakistan who have flown all the way here. They have been working for the last month and a half or so, memorizing their speeches and stories about these wonderful, amazing TCF, the Citizens Foundation's girls who go to school in one of these rural areas or urban slums. And all of these girls took the time to not only memorize it like they do for their school speech nights, but they did it for you. So let's give them a huge round of applause. Tonight is going to be about girls' education, about women empowerment. We have a hashtag that we are calling it She's the Change. She reads, she learns, she leads. How best to do it and how better to do it than actually engaging the girls in our own communities. So what you're going to see tonight in not a bunch of men who are going to be standing up here, other than me and Goldie are the only two. Everybody else is going to tell a story. Tonight is going to be a storytelling evening. So this is the 13th gala for TCF. We're going to do some things a little differently. The volunteers that have put this together are volunteers no longer from our South Asian community. They're communities from the technology industry I work in, the financial industry that Abdurrahman works in, the pharmaceutical industry, the healthcare industry. Everybody has stepped up. I would like all the volunteers, wherever you are, to just stand up, please, for 1 minute, just 1 second. I know you don't like me doing that. All the volunteers, where are you? Give them a huge round of applause. This event is not possible for us to choreograph what we are about to show you in segments after segments without an incredible program director that Trish Knox, the CEO of TK Events, who decided that she used to do these events with me at Dell and some other companies, and she started to be the program director for tonight. So thank you, Trish, for being the program director. Appreciate it. Our volunteers that I said, they're very humble. By the way, that aligns very, very closely to how TCF was started. I had the pleasure to actually meet the 5 founders of TCF. They're incredibly, incredibly brave and humble human beings that never take the stage. They don't like to take their pictures taken. They don't like to show up in tuxedos. They really have been flying under the radar because they really believe that everything is about these girls. And we thought it was going to be very important for you to understand why their work matters, and I'm going to take you through that in a bit. So before I do that, let me switch to the screen and show you the girls that are the storytellers. These are their names. So if you did not listen to their stories out in the hallway, I would ask you, because they'll be wearing uniforms, and by the way, putting uniforms on these girls and bringing them all the way from Pakistan was a huge feat. And you know, them deciding to do this was a huge, huge honor for us because they're representing all of these girls, which is very, very inspiring, first of all. So thank you again to all of these girls who are doing this. By the way, their parents work day and night. I know so many of them, so many of the mothers, some fathers who tried to get them to memorize this, and that requires a lot of work, by the way, between the chores of the daily life and for them to memorize this. So thank you for the parents as well who helped us and get there. And yes, Navida, I'm looking at you. This event is also not possible without our amazing corporate sponsors. So I'd like you to take a moment. I know a lot of you go to Desi events. Desi, by the way, stands for South Asian people, for people who don't know what Desi means. And by the way, don't use that outside of this. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this. So look at the sponsors we have. We have our platinum sponsors, we have our gold sponsors, we have our silver sponsors, but look at the names of the companies. Just take a second and look at the names of the companies. You'll recognize these names from the Fortune 500 companies, the big banks. You look at universities, you look at smaller entrepreneurs who are the next up and coming Fortune 500 companies. So let's give them a huge round of applause for them to sponsor us. So let's go to the agenda for tonight. It's going to be an interesting evening. It's going to be one of those evenings that is going to inspire you. Here's my promise to you. We started at 7:20. This program will end before a Bollywood movie has its intermission. What that means is an hour. Usually a Bollywood movie is about 3 hours long if you've watched one. So we're actually going to finish this program in 60 minutes because we want the inspirational portion to be very punchy so that you understand it, you get it, and then we're going to go into entertainment. The inspirational is an incredible lineup of speakers that we have. It's going to start with a girl who's going to tell her story, but she's going to tell the stories of why girl empowerment is important. We're then going to go into 3 very, very successful, powerful women who talk about women empowerment and disabilities, and they're professors. So we'll have them come up and actually double-click. That's another word I use, which is just to say that they're going to go deeper than what Alia is going to talk about. After that, we're going to have Goldie, who's our keynote speaker. He's going to talk about how the government and the corporate life and us as human beings need to pay attention to this women empowerment and girls' education. And then we're going to do a very short fundraising, and that fundraiser is not going to be, and when I say short, I mean soft. If you've ever been to the 27th night of Ramadan at a mosque, they hold you hostage. That's not the plan. The plan is to get you inspired so that you get to see exactly what we're about to do. Then we move from inspiration evening to now the next evening that's really going to be more about the entertainment. And the entertainment, we've decided to actually get some amazing friends of ours to come up and play a game called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And their children who are in 5th grade, their ages 10 to 11, are going to come in and do that with them. So that'll be amazing as well. Okay, and then finally, I need you to do something for me. So that's our whole program, and then we obviously have some entertainment afterwards. I'll go through that. What we're going to do now is take all of our phones out, and this is the only time I'm going to ask you humbly to take your phone out, and then otherwise then you should just be listening to me and all the speakers. And do us all a favor, because all these girls did not work hard enough, and all of us didn't work hard enough to not get this viral. So what we're going to do is do 2 things. Number 1, I need you to go into your Facebook, check in that you're here. Number 2, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. If you could do that, that would be great. But I know a lot of people are not going to take their phones out, as I was asking, so what we're going to do is metric it. So I'm going to take a selfie with all these girls. We're going to post it on our social media pages, and we're going to see how many likes we got. So if there's 1,000 people, we should at least get 1,000 likes. So let's do this. Girls, you in it? Let's do this. So let's come together. You guys get right behind me. And we're going to take a selfie. By the way, while if you're interested in taking a selfie on your own table, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Okay. Here we go. The girls. And awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Give a huge round of applause to the girls. They get off stage. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah, take this too. Hannah. So by the way, I wasn't kidding that you can take selfies of your own tables. It's okay. You don't have to be shy. I know everyone wants to take those pictures, but maybe you'll warm into it. So I think that's a great idea that a lot of our volunteers came up with. The other thing to note is there's a Wi-Fi password up there. It's not a password. It's a free login, so you can actually see right on the top, Wi-Fi hotspot International Center. So if anyone's worried about their cellular data charges, you won't have cellular data charges. I'm looking at all the Maimans that are attending tonight. Obvious, that was for you.